Hey YouTube, it's legit XX Gadget X Player. Coming at you with the deck profile of the deck me and my buddy Austin Nichols, otherwise known as Ice Scoop 4 Cart. Just go check him out. This is Karakuri. We've been testing it for about a good 2 or 3 weeks. It's come a long way. We had one build. We each had separate builds and kind of consulted, and then this is the build that we're on right now. I just wanted to put something up for deck profile, and this seemed like a really good deck that, not many people... It's coming up in its rise in fame, so I'll start with the deck profile. 3 Karakuri Kamachi, which is the Bogart Knight, the heart and soul of the deck. It lets all the combo pieces come together. It just does everything you could possibly ask it. 3 Merchant, which is the Karakuri Stratos, which can search any Karakuri, tuner or non-tuner. Its main purpose is to search Kamachi and go Naturia Beast or possibly Barkion with the 4-star. Its beasts and a back row, first turn, a protective back row, is usually like a devastating game. 3 Karakuri Kiwik, which is a good guy to go after one of the Bure or Burrito loops, which I'll show you the extra deck later. It lets you pretty much swing over a monster once it goes to the graveyard and bring back a Karakuri from your graveyard. So it's sort of like a bigger, beefier full helm. 2 Soldier, which is like the Ember's Blade. You can do the same tricks that you do with Sabers, where Ember's Blade crashes and then, you get full helm and then start doing cool shit. So, yeah, you get Kiwik instead. Strategist, which is a 1 tilt monster. You use it to gain pluses off the Burritos in their draw effect. 1 Sizen, he can be Reaper when he's in attack mode, and then he's also the 4-star tuner that use it at the end to make Burrito, then summon Kiwik, attack over monster, bring him out, and then make a starters for protection. 3 Gen X Neutron, which is the other set of Stratoses. He's an end phase Stratos, though, and you have to search a tuner, which is sort of, if you didn't search only tuners that were machines, it has to be a machine tuner. But if it searched any machine, level 4 lower machine, it'd be a lot more broken. But of course, it does this. It gets effective alert a lot and whatnot. But it's one of my favorite first turn plays next to Naturia Beast and Thunder King. So it sets you up very well. Double Cyber Dragon, which is me and Ice Scoop 4 actually debating this. We originally started off with 3. Then we decided it was way too cloggy after just playing it for so long. It doesn't go off. It's a good answer to the Thunder King and whatnot, but then we decided it clogs too much. I mean, it can get you to go off, but it's more of an answer to the Thunder King, I feel. It's a good summon. It's just a good late game summon when they have a monster and you don't. But I did not like 3. 3 was just so cloggy where you don't want to clog many of the cards at all, since all the cards search each other mainly in the deck. This card is the only card I don't really mind clogging, which is Maxi, which is the basic trap monster of the format. He lets you 1-for-1 plus. You just have to know exactly how to play him, because you can't play him on a synchro or inherited summon because it won't start a chain when Maxi doesn't even start its own chain. Then the card that me and Ice Scoop 4 cards finally decided on was Double Thunder King Raya, because this was actually kind of hard because we thought it would conflict with the deck and didn't roll with it as much as we thought. But then after we played it long enough, we realized, besides Gen X Neutron and then the Kamachi the Kamachi Merchant into Naturia Beast play, it doesn't really have that great of an opening, which is, this is a really good opening, and it lets you play progressively and it makes them waste resources on your cards. So that way, mid to late game, they don't have any more resources when you explode. So they're pretty much shit out of luck. So he's just a good meta choice in general too. I'm definitely happy with playing him now. Happy I decided to. 1 Avarice, because you can go through monsters really fast. I usually like to leave the Watchdog in grave. Don't try to send them back to deck. It's not usually the smartest plan. Double Duality, not 3, because you do play Thunder King, and you play 6 monsters that are Stratoses, which conflicts a little bit, but not that much. You just got to know how to play around it. Then Double Duality, which, that doesn't help with Thunder King that much either, but 3 was just too much. You're special summoning a lot, and it's clog. I don't want to clog this card of all cards But, like, if it's dead in your hand, it's not that bad of a card to throw away with Natria Landois, which is, like, a really good card, too, because it can negate Maxi, Tengu, and stuff like that just by discarding any spell. Triple MST, which is another thing we're still in debate about. Like, it's really good for when you're going off, but it clogs, too, which I don't really mind clogging MST because it can let me go off, and I can have it to pitch with Landois, but there may be in the future one card that we could play that's a better card that makes all the difference than the third MST, which we could eventually side since we haven't really come up with a final side deck for anything yet. Heavy, which is staple, and it's a power card, so you have to play it. Book, not so much a staple anymore, but it's good against Rabbit since Rabbit doesn't get over this card because it doesn't get priority because it's not cost to banish it. It says you can, so that's really good. And Rabbit's kind of a harder matchup for this just because it's a hard matchup if they go first. If you go first, you're gonna win. Dark Hole staple lets you go off. It's not as good. Like you wouldn't think it'd be good in this deck just because you're usually committing a lot to the field, but it's good because you draw hands that are not the greatest, and if they go first and they summon Thunder King, I mean, I hate to say it, Dark Hole is way better than a 1-for-1 card, but sometimes you have to play it as a 1-for-1 just against Thunder King, just so you can win. So, I would much rather play that card as a staple and then not play it at all, which is bad, than Reborn, which is an obvious staple. Trap cards, we go to Trap Dust Shoot, which is like the staple trap card of the format. Solemn Judgment, which is another sort of staple card, like it's kind of lost popularity as the game progresses, but yeah, it's still one of my favorite cards. Like I like playing all 3 Solemns in every deck. I liked it when it was 4 Solemns too, when you played Triple Warning. Double Warning, it's just good. Like everybody thought it'd lose popularity with Dark World, but then Dark World flopped, so Mirror Force, which isn't as obvious as a choice as you'd think, just because of decks like plants roaming around and whatnot. And, you know, this card has been becoming less of a staple since the game has progressed more and more. But my opinion on the card is it can go 1-for-1, which, you know, isn't the greatest, but it isn't bad. But then it's so not staple anymore that it's unexpected to the point you can flip this for a plus. Then you're pretty much mind-fucking them game 2 and 3 when you're more than likely going to side it out. And then they're afraid of Mirror Force, and they can give you turns to come back and draw your cards and progress further on in the game state. And then the last 2 are Double D Prison because it's good against Thunder King, and I like 1-for-1. I didn't like Fiendish Chain because Fiendish Chain seems, you know, like you're committing too much to getting over the bigger monsters once you Fiendish Chain something like a Hyperion or a Christia, where this takes care of both of them very well. Not so much Hyperion, but I can deal with him. But otherwise, he's good setup with Beast because they can't do much after that because it's just a good card to set with Beast. So is Warning and stuff. I kind of want to fit another trap in here somewhere. It might come out in MST, and I'll just show you guys the extra deck real quick because I don't have a set in stone side deck. I have an idea of what it might look like, but I'll just go with this for now, and I'll show you a side deck after we test this at a couple regionals and whatnot, and then I'll give you some deck profiles if we top or anything cool like that. You play 2 Burrito, 2 Bure. You only play... Oh, man, where did the other one go? Let me find my other Bures, you guys. Here we go. Here we go. 2 of each because you don't really need 3, and you play Avarice, so you can Avarice them back. And usually you only need 1 to 2 of each, and you're going to win just from progressing so far in a game state with Thunder Kings and whatnot to the point that they have no more resources to play to get out of it. Trish, because you can 1-card Trish in this deck. It goes Neutron, search Kamachi. Summon Kamachi next turn if your Neutron survives. Normal summon this Merchant. And then you search again, which makes a 1-card Trish, which is a technical +1 because you're popping a card from hand and field and then graveyard. So that's good, but I don't like playing that aggressive and committing that many cards, even though I got them for free to this card, but sometimes that's the best play possible. So Trish is still staple to me too. Scrap Dragon, he's pretty good. You can go 8-star very easily, and then sometimes he's better in a lot of situations than going Burrito where you gain a plus, but he can make you have games too, so yeah, Scrap Dragon. Stardust, He is very well used in this deck. Like, he's used a lot because you can do him at the end of Burrito Bure loop or Burrito loop, and then you have protection from Dark Hole. Then if you have a decent back row, BLS gets wrecked. Like, they can't do much. So that's why I think Stardust is, Stardust is a staple anyway. Black Rose, which you can go with, you can go 7 really easy. Like, Black Rose isn't usually, like, the great choice, but if you can somehow gain a plus off Black Rose, then go for it. Like, he's just another staple with Synchro to me. Landois, which is one of the good Naturia Synchros, they play all 3 Naturias. You have dead spells some of the times, like dualities and like the MSTs. I'm not saying you like to have dead spells, but sometimes that happens once you're in a winning position, where Landois makes you even more winning, because they can't maxi, they can't Tengu and stuff like that if you have the cost to discard. So he's really good that way, and he's 2350, which is kind of beefy. Like, he's not the biggest, though. Barkion, you only really have 2 ways of making him. You can do it with Merchant and the Watchdog, or if you Monster Reborn something that's an Earth, then you can do it. He comes in against decks like Chainburn and TG's a lot, but I like Bryonic isn't that good in this deck, so I played him over Bryonic as my level 6, because Bryonic makes you lose more advantage, where the deck only really has problems with traps and maxi, which the Naturiya Synchros take care of. Like, then you have Beast, which is my favorite first turn play next to Thunder King and Neutron, which are the 3 best ones. But him with the back row is like usually game. Catastrophe stable. Utopia is your rank 4. I did not play Roach. I was playing Roach. I finally decided to just cut him. Like, he never came out. When he did, he just got run over by something stupid. Leviathan, it's preference right now. Like, he's good against the Rabbit deck if you can make rank 3, because I have to go Utopia to go over it. I'm debating Zen Mains, though. Zen Mains is pretty good, and I do have Zen Mains, so yeah. Then finally Chimera Tech, because you main 2 Cyber Dragon. Yeah, that's the deck. Give me some insight. Tell me what you think. Subscribe to me. I Scoop 4 Cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! It's Whatever. Hardcore Gish. All those guys. They're really good people. They're good players. They're all learning. They all contribute to me playing the game because they're all my local friends. Alright. Peace out, YouTube.